All right, people. This is Market Omega coming to you live from madassmoney.com. I'll be doing a recap of some of the trades from today, so stay tuned. All right, so we're going to jump right in, looking at some of the trades from today. Man, today has been a really solid day, man. I tell you, it's been crazy. Like, the momentum is it's just nonstop, man, nonstop. Like, coming into this morning, I didn't really think that we're going to have, we're going to have a really smooth trading day today because some of the stocks were just kind of like fading off a pre-market and opened up and started chopping a little bit. But yeah, we got some nice plays though. So the first play I took today, let's just take a look at this VRNA. This is like the first one I took. Now, actually, before I start, let me say something. I've noticed this pattern the last month and a half, where a lot of stocks will gap up in pre-market and, have this really, really big moves. Like this VRNA went from like 5 all the way to like, 10? I mean, that's over 100%, 1083. And then it will just kind of like fade off at open. And let's see, there was another one that did that today. This VCNX was crazy, just went up from like 650 all the way to 950 and then fades. See, I don't like when stocks do that because, like with me being a primarily long bias trader, I don't like all the move to happen in pre-market because there's not enough juice for the rest of the day. If the stock moves over 100, 200%, it just kind of, tanks at the open and just continues to fade. And, just the bounces are like short-lived and then, just fades. I don't like that. I like it when the stock would pop up, 10, 20% pre-market with some volume. That's when you get a lot of move throughout the day. I mean, you would have like, like in the case of this stock, if this stock had gapped up from like, say, this 560 area, maybe gapped up to like 650, maybe 7. Then we could have, when the market opened, we could have ridden it to like 9 or 10. But, it just kind of gapped up. You have chat room guys pumping this stock in pre-market, and then when the market opens, there's not enough juice left. But, you always have to adapt to your market conditions. And, me being the trader, eagle-eyed dude that I am, I don't make excuses. I just capitalize regardless. So, this stock, it was gapping up in pre-market, and I think the news was 0.72. Asset Management took a 7.2% passive stake in the company. So 0.72, that's a hedge fund owned by Steve Cohen. He's been one of the leading hedge fund guys the last 20 years. I mean, his returns have been phenomenal. But he also got busted for insider trading. So there you go. Take that with a grain of salt. But I took this trade towards the close. What I was looking at, I'm a predominantly long bias trader. I usually go long about 70% of the time, 60 to 70% of the time. And I look for patterns mostly. So with this one, I was watching it. And I felt something in me told me this stock was going to rip, or at least attempt to rip close to pre-market highs. I mean, that's kind of the pattern we've been seeing the last few weeks. So, stocks would kind of like open, sell off, and then chop around, and then boom, rip, just out of nowhere. They'll either break pre-market highs and just keep going, or they kind of test close to the pre-market highs. So I just had this on my radar. So what happened was this stock kept going up, and as soon as I saw this pattern, I was like, yep, that's a wedge. I'm gonna take this trade. It had this resistance right here at 873, so I was like, well, as soon as it gets close to 873, I'm just gonna watch how it behaves. So it came up right here, tapped 870, pulled back, and as soon as it was coming back again, boom. I alerted it in the room. I was like, look, I'm getting long this thing. So I got long. I think I got filled at like 872 or somewhere around there. And I sold on the spike. I sold 3/4 of my position on the spike right there. Bam. And then I actually thought this was gonna hold, maybe pull back a little bit and then test high of day, but then that's not what happened. It came all the way down and gave back all the move. But I still captured some win over there. I sold 3/4 of my position, and then when he came back, I stopped out break even. So that's that. I took another trade, VRNX. Now this one, I actually thought this was just gonna open, fade, and then consolidate, kind of like this VCNX did. It's opened, fade, consolidate. But when I saw it perking up and it broke VWAP, I was like, okay, this is looking pretty strong. This is looking pretty strong. So my first trade, I watched it. It broke high, pre-market high, pulled back. I got long, scaled out on the move, and then I started watching it a little bit when it formed my favorite pattern. So a lot of you guys know in the room, I always talk about my favorite pattern, which is the double bottom and inverse head and shoulders. Now I trade some other patterns. I trade wedges and flags and all of that. I trade continuation setups, but mostly the patterns I love the most are like the double bottoms and the inverse head and shoulder. And this was what formed right here. So if you look here, let's try to zoom in a little bit. Boom, right there. It couldn't have gotten any clearer than this. And I alerted it in the room. I was like, hey, this is an inverse head and shoulders, people. I love this pattern, and I'm just gonna watch. It came, tapped this level, pulled back. See, I wasn't gonna take this as soon as it tapped this. It broke this 1220 level. I just knew there's gonna be some type of shenanigans going on over there. It'll break 1220 and then pull back, or it could just chop around. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait and see how it acts around this 1220 level, which is the neckline. And as soon as it started coming up, I was like, hey guys, look, man, inverse head and shoulders, Market Omega's favorite pattern. I'm gonna size up on this trade. I don't care what's gonna happen. I'm gonna size up because the statistics tell me that this trade, these patterns have a high win rate. Typically has about a 80% win rate. Providing they don't try to play games or it's not like past the market open. It's not like 2-3 hours after the market open. But I was like, yeah, I got long right there, 1220s. It pulled up. I knew this was at least going to test 13 as soon as it broke 1220. So I added right here, 1275. Boom. I was going to hold this thing to 13. And sure enough, it broke 13s. I think I sold it like 1320. I sold 3/4 of my position. Added some more on dips. I kept adding on dips, like recycling my shares. But I had about a 1250 average. Okay, 1246, somewhere around there. And I just kept recycling, and then boom, and I sold out all of the position over 14. So that was pretty good, man. That was a solid trade for me right there. And as you can see, it just kind of faded off. So that was VRNA. Now to the granddaddy of the day, the big boy trade, RMBL. Now this trade, man, if you didn't trade the stock, man, you missed out, man. You really missed out. This had a lot of range, a lot of volume. I mean, it was great, man. Like, this stock was pretty great. So this trade, I had this on my radar, and as soon as it perked and it broke this VWAP level, I was like, yo, this is looking good. Plus, it formed like a mini handle right here. This is a cup handle right there. If you take a look right there, that's the cup, and right there, that's the handle, which also forms a actually, let me see if I can zoom this out for you guys here. on the handle, it actually formed it's a wedge. God, what's going on? So right there, let me try to get this right there. Bam. So I watched this. I was like, hey guys, I'm going in. I'm going in. I broke this level. I got long, and target is typically the target is typically the length of the cup. So you see right there, you could this right there. I think that's about a 4-point move, and if you add that to this level right there, you would get about 28, which it hit that level. So I got long right there, scaled out. Let's see. So I just kept recycling my shares on this one. It'll go up. I'll sell some. It'll pull back. I'll add. It'll go up. And I kept my core. My core was about like the 24 level. That was like my core position. Okay. So that was one of the the big trades I had today. I mean, this was just phenomenal, man. This was easy. Now, another pattern where I sized up was right here. My favorite pattern, I always talk about in chat, the double bottom. See it right there? Right this level right here. This is this is what you call a double bottom. And it's a double bottom making a higher low. All right, so see, it's this low right here, higher than this low. And as soon as it broke this level, this 38 went long, scaled out, and added on dips and scaled out some more. So that's pretty much the trades, man. The trades from today. It was such a solid day, man. Like we've been having like some really good stocks, really good momentum the last few days. Now, I mean, last week wasn't as strong. I can tell you that, but this week was great. And I was surprised that Friday we had a big move today, because most times on Fridays we kind of have this like choppy trading or no volume trading, because everyone's gone for the weekend. But surprisingly, we had this crazy move on RNBL and VCNX and VRA. So it was a pretty good day, man. So yeah, that's about it for today. That's about it for the recap, people. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me not forget. We had Gene. I think Gene was a bad boy. Let's see if I can get it. Let me get Gene. Gene was let's see. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Gene was beast mode, man. Gene was just beast mode, man. Look at this. Like this trade, this stock went from like $2 all the way to 10.30. It was crazy. I mean, that was like one of the best trades that we have had in a long time, And this was on Wednesday. It was crazy, man. It was really crazy. This one, it broke highs. I just kept adding on dips on this one. I added on dips, and I believe I took a double bottom trade. I forgot. This was on Wednesday. Where was that? It was a clear double bottom that I took on this trade. Gosh, it was here somewhere. I took a double bottom trade and an inverse head and shoulders trade on this one. So that was pretty good, man. This just destroyed a lot of shorts. It just kept going. It'll dip at like it's fading off, and shorts will pile, and then it'll rip, and it just kept doing it all day till about 1:30 Central, 2:30. It was about 2:30 Eastern time, and then it kind of faded off. But this is a good trade, man. So yeah, man, this is Market Omega signing off, just to give you guys a little glimpse of the kind of trades we had this week. You can always come, ask me questions. I'm in chat in Matters Money chat room, or you can check me out on Twitter at Market Omega, and you can check me out on YouTube as well. Yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. If you're still trading, trade smart. and have some fun with your friends and family. All right, and we'll be right back on Monday.